so done with that. I was so tired, and one day that the man even tried to poison me, the father, when I refused to give him some. And I told him I didn't come here to do that. I have a message in my small car phone. I sent it to my father, and he was like, why don't you just come back home? Why? So, but I knew I could handle that. So I was so tired. So he tried to poison me, and that the first time he did that, I like God saved me, and I just gave what he had given me to the cat. So the cat died, and he took it without other people knowing. And like okapusi kali choli chipusi nga chirungi. Okay, nange naringeza because I really got scared because I was eating, and then I used to eat from the kitchen, and then he was so mad at me, and then he came and sent me for something. Remember, I was eating, and he used not to do that. So I was really getting scared because he had threatened me for several times. And so I gave the food to the cat, and then the cat died, and then he took it, and he told me never to tell anyone that I know where the cat is. And they looked for the cat. What? So I was sorry. I was so tired, and the ladies, the girls, like a lot of them, they were so ill-mannered. So there were some people who were good in the family. That there are some people. One boy, he was called, no, I can't mention the name, and then two other girls. They were real good to me, and they used to see whatever that was happening, and they could tell me to just hold on, to do my own thing. I don't have to care about that. Like, they really knew them. So yeah, but I reached to an extent of buying a machine, and so they, after convincing them, I bought the machine, and they didn't know that I was going to use it, maybe. So I tested it, and it was working. So I started to sew, because it really makes me forget about a lot of things. My stress, it helps me from depression. So I started to sew. I had a lot of clothes that I was not wearing, and then the previous maid that were here, they used to leave their clothes that they didn't want to carry with them while going. So I used to use that, and yeah, I could take time sewing. And then when they realized that I know how to sew, they used to give me their clothes. I sewed their clothes. But I was okay with that. I wasn't charging them. I was really okay with that. But they reached to this point of getting so comfortable, and then they used to buy their material, and then I make for them clothes. But because I knew I bought that machine, it was expensive, 1.5. That is too much money. And then I used to use it so much because everyone could bring their clothes. This one want fitting, and then on a gulengo yanagamba tukolemo design ate kino kinene zisale biki. So I used to take time. I took my time, and then after I saw that they are not appreciating. Like, you may think it's your responsibility to make for them clothes, and then nakuwera kamateka, bring it, and then just in case you don't do it in time, and then they quarrel, you understand. So I reached the next sentence, so stressing, and I was just doing it because I loved it. It was taking my stress away. And then when I told them, you know what, I'm doing this, you're not giving me money, so you should be holding on, because I'm always busy, and I always go on that machine when I'm tired, because in real life I don't sleep. Like, I have less sleep. I'm a less sleeper, so I used to find a lot of difficulties with sleep. And then whenever I stayed up the whole night, I could be so stressed. So I used that time to sew and to learn maybe other things that I didn't know that I needed to learn to focus on. And then nebakiteekawo ng'oba omulimu gwange nti nina obbakola. So I told them I need money. They have to start paying me, because everything that I was using, from the sewing machine, apart from the electricity, from the sewing machine, threads, cutters, buli kimu nze nakyegulira. So I told them you should be paying some little money whenever I sew for you, because almost kati guno omulimu I'm doing it. And then the mother yalekana bichi, and then from then netutakwatagana nembagamba, you know what, if you can't do that, I'm also tired of doing it, because you don't appreciate. You understand? I used to do it not because they were good, but I was just taking my stress away. But in so doing that, they just stressed me more. So when I told them to pay me money and then everything, some used to do that. Some and you sew for them, and then they appreciate. Then now after saying that, but I think it happened twice, and these girls who I was connecting with, those are the one who did that. But then their mother and the rest, so they started mistreating me seriously. So those were two kinds of genders mistreating me now. The male gender from the father to the boy child, and then the female gender from the mother to the girl child. So I was really so fed up, and a lot of things happened, and I was tired. So I woke up one day and I was losing it. I was really losing my mind, and then I told them I want to go. And then when I told them that, they refused. They told me we just renewed. And then I was like, okay, I can wait for this, but I didn't know something bad was going to happen to me, and I'll never, because I'm going home. But I really swore to never to give them time whenever they say we renewed, because of I almost lost my life. Almost. I was at the edge of losing my life, and no one knew this apart from my dad and my friend. And I've spent a lot of money on me to recover, to get better. And because apart from the company, they were not going to do anything. You understand? That's what I always tell you. I really have boundaries with people. So even my friends, I have boundaries, because I know sometimes when I tell you something, of course it's not going to help you, and you're not going to help me in one way or the other. So I just solve it myself. So I left the house, I went back, I rested, and yeah, they said I don't know how to work, but the company didn't really care about that, because they took me for 3 months. How can you keep someone you took for 3 months, for 1 year and 2 months, and then you say they don't know how to work? Of course they knew something was wrong. And when I went back, of course they knew something was not okay, and they saw everything, and I was okay with that. So I went to another house, and then that second house, they bought me for 3 months, but I only spent there 2 weeks, and I was in Habha. So that will be my next story with you. This is getting so long. I think I've skipped a lot of things because I don't want to get emotional. That's why I didn't go into details. But that was my first house in Geno. So that was my first house. I'll come back with a story of my second house. Consider subscribe and comment. Leave a comment. Tell me, how was your experience in your house? How was your experience? If you knew, how are you finding it? How are you finding it? How are you fighting? How are you holding up? Because I know it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really not easy. So I love you guys and take care. See you later.